Okay, so just lying with your shoulders nice and relaxed and your feet where they're comfortable, not too close to your bum, just out a little bit. And we're taking an inhale through your nose for a nice big breath with a small arch in your lower back. On your exhale, tuck your pelvis, flatten your back to the floor and draw your rib cage down. We're lengthening the spine and unlocking the lower back. Inhale, let your back arch up, fill your tummy up, fill your chest up with air. And exhale, draw your abs down and flatten and flatten and flatten your back to the floor. Inhale, let your back arch up, glutes off, hamstrings off. Exhale, draw your belly button down, tuck your pelvis and flatten your back to the floor. Inhale, let your back arch, let your rib cage lift and stretch with the breath. Exhale, draw your belly button down and flatten your back to the floor. So gently unlocking this lower back. Inhale, let your back arch, glutes are off. Exhale, draw your tummy down and flatten, flatten, flatten your back to the floor. Inhale, let your back arch, lift your chest, expand your rib cage. Exhale, draw your belly button down and flatten your back to the floor. Inhale, let your pelvis rock out, let your back arch. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and flatten your back to the floor, drawing your belly button to your spine. Inhale, let your back arch, no glutes, so your butt's not squeezing. Exhale, draw your belly button to your spine and flatten your back to the floor. Inhale, let your back arch. Open up your rib cage, expand your breath, breathe really big. And then exhale, tuck your pelvis and flatten your back to the floor for a little stretch in your lower back. Inhale, let your back arch up. Exhale, draw your abs flat, tuck your pelvis and low back to mat. 3 more breaths. Inhale for as long as you can. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and flatten your back to the floor. Inhale, let your back arch up. Keep your shoulders soft, your glutes are off. And exhale, tuck your pelvis, draw your rib cage down and flatten your back. 1 more big breath for as long as you can. Open up your chest, stretch, let your tummy fill up with air. And exhale, draw your belly button to your spine, tuck your pelvis and flatten, flatten and flatten your back to the floor. Okay, turn over onto your tummy and grab a pillow or something to have between your ankles. I'm going to do a ball today. So just a pillow there or a folded up towel, just something to guide between your ankles. Relax your shoulders and soften your neck. Inhale for a nice big breath. Exhale and squeeze your glutes. So when you squeeze your glutes, it's going to start to stretch out your hips and loosen them off. Inhale, take a nice big breath. Exhale, draw your belly button off the floor, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes so your spine is lengthening. Inhale, soften. Exhale, tuck your pelvis like there's a pin pricking into your belly button. You draw your abs up and fire your glutes as hard as you can. Inhale, glutes relax. Exhale, squeeze your glutes, tuck your pelvis and do not lift your feet. If you lift your feet, you're going to use your lower back. Inhale, glutes relax. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and squeeze those glutes. Inhaling to relax, soften your back, soften your glutes. Exhale, tuck your pelvis, stretching through the hip flexors and firing those glutes, lengthening out your lower back. Inhale to relax. Exhale, draw your abs up towards your spine, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes. Inhale, relax your legs, quads off, hammies off. Exhale, abs up and fire those glutes. Starting to get some movement through the hips and stretch them out. Inhale to relax. Exhale, draw your tummy off the floor, tuck your pelvis and fire your glutes. Inhale, relax your quads, let your feet be heavy. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes. Inhaling to relax. Exhale, tuck hard and squeeze your glutes. Focus on your glutes and just your glutes squeezing. Inhale, soften your neck and shoulders. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes. Leave your feet on the ground, do not lift. Inhale to relax. Belly button draws up to your spine, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes. Inhale to relax. Use the exhale to let go through the abs and pull them up. Glutes on. Inhale, relax. One more. Exhale, tuck your pelvis, squeeze your glutes and hold that glute squeeze. Now hold in your tucked pelvis. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and relax off. Okay, roll over onto your side. And you've got your head on your arm. Your arm is all the way out long. Bent legs, heels in line with tailbone. So you can just pop your head up and look down the back of your spine and just check that your heels are about in line with your spine. And just check that your knees are matching up. So your top knee should match up with your bottom knee. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, draw your abs in, squeeze your glute and lift your knee. Now the trick here is to have this knee lifting with your glute, not with your hip joint. Inhale to come down. This takes lots of focus. Draw your abs in to support your pelvis, squeeze your glute and lift your knee. If it doesn't feel very high, that is totally fine. Inhale down. Abs in. Now your glute needs to squeeze and then lift your knee. You shouldn't be feeling this in your quad and your hamstring. Inhale down. Nice big breath. Draw your abs in. Squeeze your glute. Keep it a little bit smaller, Cal. Yep. Inhale down. Pull your abs in. Squeeze your glute and lift your knee. So you should be feeling this in your top glute. Inhale down. Draw your abs in and see if you can lift that knee using your glute muscle. This takes lots of concentration. Inhale down. You don't want to be feeling this in your hip flexor or feeling like you're lifting it with your joint or your quad. Abs in, the glute muscle has to lift the knee. Inhale down, time to focus. Get the glute to squeeze and then lift your knee. You want the muscles to lift. You're training the muscles to lift the knee, not your hip joint. Inhale down. Focus on getting your glute to squeeze and lift your knee. Shouldn't feel like it's in your hammies and your quads. Inhale down. Pull your abs in, squeeze your top glute and lift the knee. If you've got this, it should feel hard. Inhale down. Draw your abs in, glute squeeze, lift the knee. Inhale to come down. Draw your belly button to your spine. Now get that glute to squeeze and then lift the knee and hold it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and come down. We're actually going to do 5 more. Can I get you to put your hand on your hip so you can show that your hip's not moving or rolling back? Take an inhale. Pull your abs in. Glute squeeze and lift the knee. So your pelvis is stable and you're not rolling your hip back to get yourself to lift the knee. Inhale down. The muscle has to lift the knee. Abs in and glute muscle to lift the knee without rolling the hips back. Inhale down. Draw your abs in, glute squeeze and lift the knee. Inhale, take a big breath. Soften your quad, soften your hammies. Abs in, squeeze your glute and lift the knee. Inhale down, take a big breath, reset. Draw your abs in, squeeze your glute and lift. Hold there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and come down. So the only thing you should be feeling in that exercise is a burn in the glute muscle on the top leg. Other side. So legs are bent up, heels in line with tailbone, and you can just pop your head up and just see if they're about in line with your hips. And you could have your feet out a little bit longer, Carl. Yep. Knees are matching up, so just check that your knees are the same length. Now you've got to think about keeping your hips still and stable. Don't just roll your top hip back to get this lift. We're trying to get the muscles to do the lift. Take an inhale. Draw your belly button towards your spine. Engage your abs, squeeze your glute and lift your knee. Nice and small and stable. Inhale down. Draw your abs in. Glute squeeze and lift the knee. Inhale down. So the glute on the top leg has to go now. Glute squeeze and lift the knee. One side is usually easier than the other with this one. Inhale. Draw your belly button to your spine. Glute squeeze and lift the knee. This exercise brings lots of stability for the knees. Inhale down. Draw your abs in, get the glute and lift the knee. Inhale, soften. Quad off, hammies off, abs in, squeeze your glute and lift the knee. Inhale down, don't add a band to this exercise until you can nail it. Abs in, glute squeeze, lift the knee. Inhale, soften your neck and shoulders. Draw your abs towards your spine. Glute squeeze, lift the knee. Inhale down. Draw your abs in, get your glute squeeze, lift the knee and hold. Now hold it in the glute. See if it's out of your hammy, it's out of your hip flexor. See if you can hold it in the glute. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Can you pop your hand on your hip now, Carl, so we can just see that that's staying nice and stable. Inhale. Abs in, glute squeeze and lift the knee. Inhale down, quad off, no hammy involved. Abs in, get the glute and lift. Heels are together and feet are nice and heavy. Inhale down, hips stay still. Squeeze your glute and lift the knee. Again, don't worry if this feels really small for you. Inhale, a smaller range of motion is better than a big range of motion. Exhale, glute squeeze, lift your knee. Inhale down, big breath. Draw your abs in, glute squeeze, and hold it in the glute. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax down. Okay, over onto your tummy, last exercise to get those hips feeling better. So now you've got your knees at about the edge of the mat. So just put your legs wide, knees about the edge of your Pilates mat or yoga mat, and then bring your heels together. Okay. Right, take an inhale here, nice big breath. On your exhale, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes. This is really going to stretch through your hip flexors. If this feels too tight, you need to take your knees closer together and start closer together. Inhale to relax. Exhale, pull your tummy off the floor, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes. This is a real good hip stretch. Inhale, nice big breath. Draw your abs up and fire your glutes. If you've got a good glute muscle to back up this stretch, your hips will open up nicely. Inhaling to relax. Exhale, tuck and fire your glutes, leaving your knees down. If you lift your knees, you're going to use your back to do this. Inhale, completely relax your glutes. Exhale, tuck your pelvis, fire your glutes, and think of your hammies as secondary, not going first. Inhale, soften your hamstrings. Exhale, abs in and fire those glutes. Tuck your pelvis, you're tucking pubic bone to floor and lengthening out that lower back. Inhale to relax. Exhale, pull your abs up. So again, like there's a pin pricking into your belly button and you're tucking your pelvis to fire your glutes. Inhale, big breath. Sometimes this one can take a little while to get going. Draw your abs up and squeeze those glutes. Your glutes protect your hip joint. Inhale, soften your hamstrings. Leave your knees on the ground, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes. Inhaling to relax, glutes off, hammies off. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes, drawing your abs up. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, abs in, glutes on. Let yourself stretch through the hip flexors and find a good glute squeeze to strengthen those glutes. Inhaling to relax. Draw your belly button to your spine, tuck your pelvis and squeeze those glutes. Inhale to relax. If this has gotten easy for you, you can take your knees a little bit wider, but you have to be able to tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes. Abs in and squeeze. Inhale to relax. Feet are flexed. Exhale, tuck and fire those glutes. Inhale, big breath. Great exercise for opening up the hip flexors after sitting. Tuck and squeeze. 3 more. Soften your neck and shoulders on the inhale. Draw your belly button up, tuck your pelvis and squeeze your glutes. You're activating your abs and trying to pull them towards your tummy. Inhale towards your spine, Exhaling, abs up, tuck your pelvis and fire those glutes. 1 more, relax your hammies, leave your knees down, tuck your pelvis, squeeze your glutes and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and release down. And we are done with that. So good.